I would like to welcome everybody to this demonstration. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Things that I found out today at the federal court hearing. Salute to the replay gang. Salute to the chat. Salute to my moderators. Let me welcome my Facebook family and friends, and then we're going to jump into this demonstration. Give me 1 second. All right. Salute to all my Facebook family and friends. Welcome to this demonstration. Let me see who we got. All right. Nola, appreciate that, Nola. Everyone look well rested and beautiful. Appreciate that super chat, Nola. Appreciate the super chat, Nola. Justice for Shanquella, always in my heart. Shank, feel free to show Shanquella's t-shirt. I carry it with me every year to my birthday bash. If you could show it, I sent it on your Google IG. This is the shirt that Nola is talking about. It's a Boss Lady shirt in honor of Shanquella Robinson. Appreciate that Boss Lady shirt, Nola. So today's hearing, and this is just my opinion, it went well. It went well. I think that it was a win. I think it was a win for Shanquella Robinson and her family. It was heard in front of a U.S. judge. It was heard in front of a U.S. judge. Yes, I was in attendance. I was in attendance. So now, Dejanay Imani Green, she has been served as well. So everybody in the Cabo 6 except Malik Dyer has been served for the civil complaint. Everyone except Malik Dyer in the civil lawsuit was served. Now, today's hearing was all about, should the civil suit, should it take place in the United States or should it take place in Mexico? Right? Appreciate the super sticker. Nola says, I'm sitting here crying tears of joy. Yes, yes. And it was a very relaxed atmosphere, you know. Now, Kalia, Elise, and Winter's attorneys were there. Those were the three attorneys out of Cabo 6 that were there. Now, those three attorneys, they argued that it should be held, the civil suit should take place in Mexico because, of course, that's where the crime happened at. And not only that, there are witnesses in the case that are from Mexico, Mexican citizens. So that's why they feel as though it shouldn't be held here. It should be held in Mexico, because trying to get those Mexican citizens to come to the United States as witnesses to give their testimonies and everything, well, it's going to be a problem. But big shout out to Sue Ann Robinson. If you're watching, Sue Ann, big shout out. I really, really have to give you your flowers on the way how you handled the case. Sue Ann's argument to that was, and the judge agreed, The judge even agreed, and the judge may have mentioned this before Sue-Ann, but Sue-Ann's rebuttal to that was, well, the witnesses in the case are actually U.S. citizens. Even though you have the maid, the doctor, the paramedics, the staff at the villa, even though you had them, and they could be possible or potential witnesses. But the key fact that Sue-Ann pointed out, as well as the judge, we're looking for the witnesses in the Shanquella Robinson case that was present before Shanquella lost her life and when she lost her life. Because see, the staff, the maid, the doctor, and any and everybody else, the paramedics, they come in after what happened to Shanquella took place. They don't know what happened to Shanquella. The only ones that know what happened to Shanquella was the Cabo Six. So that's why they are being held accountable in this. And it was also mentioned that with the Cabo Six, there were reports that when it was instructed that Shanquella needs to go to the hospital and be treated, Cabo Six refused. But I'm gonna go to a news clip, and then I'll come back and I'll finish up. Salute to the chat.
If a lawsuit over this Charlotte woman's death should be dismissed. Mexico is where Shanquella Robinson died, traveling there with a group in 2022. Our Joe Bruno was in court today as this went before a judge for the first time.
No one was ever criminally charged in this case. Friends told family members that Shanquella Robinson died of alcohol poisoning, but an autopsy claims she died of neck and spinal cord injuries. The judge today seemed very familiar with this case, and he's now wrestling with the decision on whether to allow this lawsuit to move forward here or if it should be heard in Mexico.
A United States citizen should not be allowed to go overseas, harm another, or be involved in harm with another United States citizen and come back to the United States and essentially say that they're on base.
That's the crux of attorney Sue-Ann Robinson's arguments as to why her lawsuit on behalf of Shanquella Robinson's family should continue. In federal court Wednesday, the FBI and attorneys for 4 of the people who went on the trip with Shanquella argued the case should be dismissed. They argued their clients shouldn't be named in the lawsuit since it was another travel mate seen in this video attacking Robinson. But their main claim is the case should be heard in Mexico instead, since that is where Robinson died and where many of the people live who would be called to testify. Robinson says that wouldn't be appropriate because the main players are U.S. citizens.
It would be burdensome for costs, burdensome for travel, burdensome just because the Mexican civil litigation system is completely different.
Judge Max Cogburn appeared sympathetic to the Robinson family's situation. He pointed out to attorneys that the travel mates all left Mexico before the investigation was finished.
And let me just slide in. Appreciate that new membership, Miss Parker. Appreciate that new membership, Tina. Appreciate that new membership, Yvette C. The judge had sympathy for the Robinson family. He did. Now, when it comes to holding the FBI, holding the government responsible, when it comes to holding the DOJ responsible, that gets kind of tricky. And it gets kind of tricky only because of certain laws that the feds have to abide by. But the judge did acknowledge the Cabo Six, they did give testimonies. They gave the testimony to the FBI. And the judge did acknowledge that's what the plaintiffs are seeking. That's what the plaintiffs are requesting, that y'all pretty much come up off of the witness statements, you know. And of course, you know, the government, you know, they rebuttal with it's I believe it's 4,000, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, 4,000 and something pages, and it's just too much to, you know, be able to hand it all over at one time. You know, the government, of course, they came with their lollygag. Y'all know I've never, when it came to the case, I've always felt like the FBI, the government, was running a play. But, you know, of course, they come back with, well, you know, the proper procedures, and, you know, we got to go by certain laws. And, well, they did, you know, give statements, but like the judge and like Sue Ann said, yeah, but we don't know what those statements are. And Sue Ann, you know, of course, stressed the fact that if the FBI, if the government is saying that this case is closed, fine, we can live with that. But follow the proper protocol, follow the proper procedures, and come up off of the paperwork. Appreciate the new membership, Ms. Parker. Appreciate everybody with the memberships.
As family members await the judge's decision, Shanquella's father, Bernard, vowed to keep pressing for justice.
But I'm going to continue to stand on my strength. I'm going to continue to stand on my faith.
And I will say that, yes, Mr. Bernard was there. Mr. Bernard was in attendance. Miss Salamandra was there as well. She was in attendance also. Also, their attorney was there. And I'm just glad to see the momentum. I'm glad to see that things are picking up. You know, it's a slow process, you know, but I'm just so happy. I'm so happy to see that this Shanquella Robinson case is not going to get swept up under the rug. And it's very important that we all keep raising awareness. You know, we have to keep the fight alive. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. It shouldn't have taken this long. Appreciate the super sticker, Nola. It shouldn't have taken this long. But this hearing today in federal court, it was only about whether or not the civil lawsuit should be held in the United States or in Mexico. Either way, even if the judge feels as though, well, it shouldn't be held in the United States, it's still going to be a civil lawsuit. It'll just have to be filed in Mexico. And as much as I know that Imani Green, if it's any of them, she should want this civil suit case to be held in the United States of America. You know, and in my opinion, in my honest opinion, I feel like for all of Cabo 6, y'all would want it to be held in the United States, because we know Mexico has an open warrant for Imani Green, which is Dejanay. Now, you could go up over there if you want to. You could try your hand. I would never tell nobody not to try their luck. Try your hand and go over there to Mexico. Because even in the hearing, in Kalia, Elise, and Winter's attorneys argued as far as having it over there, and the judge even said, but if it is held in Mexico, what ensures that your clients are going to travel to Mexico? Remember, they left Mexico a day early. So how can you ensure that they will go to Mexico for this civil lawsuit? And their attorney said, well, it's proper, protocols that have to be followed that will hold them accountable. And I do believe the warrants will come in, but then you gotta go back to Desjardins' warrant. Any warrant from another country has to get prioritized by the DOJ. So now here we go again with all of these problems. But in my honest opinion, and I wish you all could have been there, in my honest opinion, I do believe, and I could be wrong, I do believe that the judge will at least have the civil suit for the Cabo Six here in the United States of America. The judge even wants to know. The judge said, I know about the case. It was a major case. And the judge want to know what happened to this young lady, Shanquella Robinson. We have to know. We have to know whether or not a crime took place. He mentioned that. Maybe a crime didn't take place. But if a crime didn't take place, we still have to know. We still got to find out. Appreciate the super sticker. Have you seen this podcast?
That I know there is a God above who sit down and watch everything everybody doing.
The woman seen in that video attacking Shanquella is named in the lawsuit, but she was not represented in court today. Records show that she has changed her name and moved to Connecticut. A federal judge will make a decision in the coming weeks.
And as I stated before, regardless of what, regardless of how, they've been trying to run. You can run, but you can't hide. Appreciate the super sticker. Have you seen this podcast? I will take a few questions from the chat. I'll take a few questions from the chat, y'all. Salute Top Flight, Tammy. Nikki says, thanks, Shank. We appreciate you showing up and getting answers for us in this fight for justice for Shanquella. And I appreciate you, Nikki, along with the Rock Squad and everybody else, because y'all know I couldn't have done it by myself. So I appreciate all of y'all. You can hear the pain in her dad's voice. Yes. Yes. He's hurting. Her mom is hurting. Her sister is hurting. The whole family, they hurting. Anna says, my cousin got killed in Spain, and it was better to get the people charged over there, as in UK, they wouldn't get long because it didn't happen. Here, Cabo Six should be sentenced in Mexico. A good point, Anna. Good point. Salute, Kenya. Naziah Wiggins, his attorney wasn't there. There was no attorney for Naziah. I meant for Nazir. My bad, y'all. Salute, Pamela. Appreciate this super chat, Trelane. Thanks for showing up for Quilla, Shank. I'm sure her family appreciates your presence. We will never get up. We will never give up, and she will get justice. Facts. Facts. We too emotionally invested in it. And just not only that, we know what was done to Shanquella was wrong, you know. And I'm just so happy, like I said, for me to be there and see it for myself and see just how the judge took to this case. Like the judge, he made it be known that we got to definitely get to the bottom line of what's going on. What happened to Shanquella Robinson? We just cannot just allow it to just get swept up and swept away. But, and I agree with the judge, and I believe Sue Ann agreed with him too. We just have to make sure, that Mexico is the proper place or either the U.S. is the proper place. I'll say it again. In my opinion, he knows, and he said it, these witnesses, and that's the main thing that they were stressing, the witnesses. And as the judge said, the witnesses to Shanquella's unaliving are the Cabo Six, and they are U.S. citizens. Shanquella, even though she was unalive in Mexico, Shanquella is still a U.S. citizen, right? Yep. Shank, did the Cabo Six lawyers address anything to the judge? They only addressed, the only thing that they addressed was that it should be held in Mexico. Their lawyers were trying to base it off of the witnesses in this are Mexican citizens. But as Sue Ann and the judge said, we can't hold the witnesses in Mexico accountable for her death. We can only hold those that were responsible and those that were there before her death and those that caused her death. And that to me, that's the grip. That's the strong arm that the judge and Sue Ann was stressing. It may be those witnesses as far as the staff members, but they can only testify to what they saw when they got there. However, Cabo Six, they're the real witnesses. We got to find out from them what happened to Shanquella Robinson. The maid don't know what happened to Shanquella Robinson. The paramedics, the staff, they don't know what happened to Shanquella Robinson, but Cabo Six knows what happened, which was the Cabo Six, correct? And so, and like I said, in my opinion, that's the strong arm, that's the grip that, in my opinion, is going to have this civil suit done here in the States. My cousin is Irish citizen, and people who did it are from UK, but it happened in Spain. So where the crime takes place, that's where the trial should be, in my opinion. That's criminal. That's criminal. Today's hearing wasn't criminal. Today's hearing, please listen to me. Today's hearing was whether or not the civil suit should be held in Mexico or the United States of America. The Cabo Six attorneys that were there, they were stressing it should be held in Mexico because the witnesses are Mexican citizens. Sue Ann and the judge rebuttals and say, we are not talking about the Mexican citizens that came after her death. We are talking about the witnesses to her death. The witnesses to her death was the Cabo Six, and they are U.S. citizens. And also, Sue Ann spoke about the language burials. I hope I ain't messed that word up, y'all, please. But if you do it in Mexico, you got to think about the language barrels, whatever, y'all. But, you know, that sounds good to me, Shank. They need to tell what each one of them did. Thank you, Shank. And I thank God for you and Miss Parker and your squad. I appreciate you, Tina. And that's the basics right there. And this is what the judge even said. We got to find out what happened to Shanquella Robinson. This is what was on the table today. Finding out what happened to Shanquella Robinson. Cabo 6 knows what happened to Shanquella Robinson. They were there. They were there. Everybody else, they comes after. So you can only question them about what they saw. You can only question them about what took place after. But we want to know first. Now, we can find out what happened after, but first we got to know what happened to cause the death of Shanquella Robinson. That's first. I'm going to try to take a few more comments and then I'm going to move on. Lisa says, okay, civil. Kenyatta says, I heard you, Shank. Patricia says, funky asses. Right. Which means they should be tried in the U.S. Correct. Correct. And that's because they are U.S. citizens. Now, the judge might feel, from what I got out of him today, and I could be wrong, he feels that it should be held here, but he hasn't gave his ruling yet. So he can come back. He might come back and say, I think this case should be held in Mexico. The civil suit. And the currency. Language barrel. Y'all know I mess up them words. Tina says, I agree, Shank. Shank, is you from Baltimore? Yes, I'm from Baltimore, Joyce Bull. Appreciate that, Abel. Didn't the one who jumped her try to change her name? Yes, Dejanay is the one that you all see in the video. And she did change her name to Amani Green. And she has been served. She has been served her civil lawsuit as well. Only one hasn't been served is Malik. But Dejanay did change her name to Imani Green. And I'm from Baltimore. Shout out to all my Baltimore people. Shank, thank you for this. We all go on vacation with friends and expect to come back alive. Correct. Correct. Nowadays, they can have those witnesses to do a video, sit in with the judge in the courtroom. Somebody was telling them what to do or say on the phone. I think it was when the Donovan Peoples. Appreciate that super sticker, Tammy. Appreciate that super sticker, Tammy. I'm going to go to, now that we heard from Mr. Bernard, I'm going to go to Miss Salamandra. I'm going to let you all hear from Miss Salamandra.
Podcast editing is so frustrating. That's why Riverside makes editing super simple and fast. Check it out. Podcast.
What the hell? This ain't it. Oh, come on. Hold tight, y'all. So we have a win for the Shanquella Robinson case. We have attorneys Sue-Ann Robinson, and I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Gabrielle Higgins.
And the lovely mother of Shanquella Robinson. How do you feel, Ms. Salamandra, about today's hearing?
I feel good about it, and knowing that they're going to put it on the table and see where they can go with it, and hopefully that we will get justice for Shanquella Robinson, because the 6 individuals that was there, they know what happened.
Yes, they do. Attorney, how do you feel?
Our legal system obviously has revenues and avenues for us to fight for justice and for us to advocate, and I'm happy that we were able to put our best foot forward in our attempt to get justice for Ms. Robinson.
Thank you. And Sue-Ann, what are your thoughts?
I think you're right. It was a win today for us, even to get the opportunity to be here to have oral arguments in federal district court. Shows that, you know, it gives me a renewed hope, a renewed faith, not just in the case, but in the system that we're working so hard to get transparency from.
Thank you, ladies. And I gotta keep
Justice for Shanquella.
giving flowers to Sue-Ann Robinson. I really do, because today I had an opportunity to actually be in that courtroom, and I was really impressed. So if you're watching, once again, Sue-Ann Robinson, flowers to you. Mr. Bernard and Miss Salamandra, flowers to you all. And Quilla as well. Jacqueline says, this is off topic, but speaking of Baltimore, there was a serious call the corner that was filmed in Baltimore. That was an excellent series. I loved it. Yes. Salute, Nina. Proud of you, Shank. You represent. Appreciate that, Lisa. My allergy, y'all. Right. Robinson been doing her thing. Yeah, she really had. You know. Salute, Sheik. I see you, Jamie. Thanks for letting us know what happened with Shanquella Robinson case. You welcome, Shari. You welcome. I'll whenever I get new information, breaking news, you all will be the first that I tell. Cindy says, been waiting for this day to come ever since they did this to Shanquella. I beg my daughter to be mindful of the company she keeps. Yes. You know, and especially going out the country, even when you in the country, but you got to be careful who you traveling with. You know, Kalia was the BFF for 5 years, went on trips with him. And many believe that Kalia is the one that set it up. And if he didn't set it up, he stood there while they attacked Shanquella and refused medical attention, refused for her to go to the hospital, then lied to her mother. Salute, Jacqueline. I followed this story when it first happened. I see you were covering this story, but I've been watching you, the Mods Rock Squad, covering other stories, but I'm happy to catch this live. Appreciate you. I truly appreciate this update because people aren't talking about Shanquella anymore. It's sad and frustrating that they weren't criminally charged. Nola says, I'm listening in the background. Mr. Shank, I'm glad you were able to be there too. Appreciate you, Shari. Facts, y'all. Amen. I see you, Squeak. They weren't her friends. They were opportunists and schemers. I agree. I agree. I definitely agree, y'all. Salute, LaShonda. You welcome. You welcome. Marty says, I hate it too. Why he filming, he should have been stopping it. As a man, why film it instead of helping her knowing she didn't have clothes on? Exactly. You were supposed to stop that. You were supposed to have intervened. Let me see what I've got up here for y'all. Let me see. Since many of y'all are new over here, I can do a little backtracking. Since many of y'all are new, let's backtrack something. What is that? What is that? No. No. Let's see. Let's see what we got. All right. Let me see. I'll run a little bit of Nazia Wiggins, y'all.
My taxi driver, it took us an hour to get to the villa because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it's just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this shit is and what it looked like. Well, you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good. So I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart and hope that I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking. So we made it to the living room. I cut on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting till the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming, and then a female showed up. So by that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there. Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Quilla, I see she chilling, I put her on her side. I go out and make that video where I'm talking about I'm here, that I Quilla get up. So I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do. ATVs, a boat, dinner.
Drop a 3. Drop a 3 if you still feel like Nazia is full of ish. Nazia, ain't. Drop a 3 if you still feel like Nazia is still full of ish. Drop a 4 if you've had an opportunity to backtrack Nazia video and say, well, you know what? He may have been telling the truth about some things, because a lot of people don't got no love at all for Nazia. Raw dropped the 4. Jamie dropped the 4. Nikki dropped the 4. Cindy says no love. Leslie dropped the 1. Marty dropped the 4. Well, one thing that we know for sure, everything that he said, it's time to pay the piper. Let me see what else I got, y'all. See what this says.
A long time. They got all the I's dotted and they T's crossed. And say, man, shout out to my Bebo niggas, man, $1 million thing coming.
And you come on the slide in. So I'm gonna come to each and every one of y'all individually, and I'll give everybody an opportunity to speak. So I'll go and set up, and then I'll come back and we'll start the demonstration. So, let me just start with you, ladies. Now, when it comes to Slim's video, and I just want to base everything off of Slim's video. Now, based off of his video, do you feel as though Slim was there or not?
Well, I think regardless of whether or not he was there Friday or Saturday, Slim has the absolute worst friends in history. So next time they call him and say, hey, you want to go on vacation with us? He needs to say, I got some choices for you, Slim. A, lose my number. B, return to sender. C, friendship denied. D, the number you have reached is no longer in service. Or E, all of the above. Slim, listen to me.
Well, Nikki, I agree, but if I had to answer that question honestly, no, he wasn't there. I mean, I can't see a person that has never been out of the country before that would, on their first time out of the country, fly 2,000 miles away to be implemented in such bad situation. I don't get that. I mean, as he said, he has a college degree. He ain't no dumb dude.
Well, Knowledge, my opinion of it, I really don't believe he was there on Friday. I do believe he was there on Saturday. But my question is, if you were there on Saturday, you said you walked into something. Why would you leave your friend over there? Why would you go back with those other 6 demons? If you did nothing wrong, why not call the authorities? Why not stay there with your friend? Since you said she was your friend for what, 9 years? I don't buy that. I don't care what. I'm not going to leave my friend over there by herself, unalived, and not tell anybody. You didn't have anything to worry about. Worry about getting over there and being caught up in Mexico? Well, make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. Why you leave your friend?
Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. Why you leave your friend? Why?
That's a good one. Yeah. Let's come to you last.
I don't think he was there because to me the timelines just don't add up. So I don't think he was there.
Wow. Shout out to members of my rock squad. Jamie, Marty, Mel, and Nikki Lynn. We done a reenactment. This was a reenactment of Nazir's video. So shout out to my rock squad members. So let's focus on this next question that I had. Now, some people feel like he was there. Some people feel like he wasn't there. Now, my question is whether he was there or not. What would make him come back to the States with those group of friends that done what they done?
I believe he came back with them because he was still invested in their lie. So from the very beginning, he was unaware of what had occurred prior to him coming. So he did not know that a beating had occurred, and he was still operating on the fact that she had passed from alcohol poisoning. So he got out of town just as they did, believing that if they stayed there, they would be implicated in something bigger, not knowing that something bigger had really happened.
That's a good point. What's your take? What's your answer?
I mean, I can just really piggyback off that. That was a good point. And to Marty's point as well, it's like if they're leaving, why leave you holding the bag? I'd rather get home and tell my side of the story to the people that it mattered to the most. He contacted the family, and he also contacted the FBI, which there is a law when there is a crime that happens internationally. When you come back to the States, you must report it. He maybe wasn't sure that it was a crime, but he talked to somebody and told him what he knew.
Somebody told him what he knew.
Well, like I said before, I truly agree with Nikki, truly agree with Mel. Stuck on the point. I understand you didn't want to be caught up in a foreign country and be held there, but their whole thing was alcohol poisoning. You couldn't be held for alcohol poisoning, but you decided, for whatever reason, only you know, to get up out of the city, to get up out of the country. So, but like Mel said, as soon as you touched on American soil, you should have went to the FBI, told them what you knew, what you walked into. But you still sided with their lie. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
When you know it wasn't what they said. You know, why would you do that? Don't you have any morals about yourself? You know, I
Do
just...
you think, why
Damn.
did he come back with them?
I think they may have been holding something over him, and if he didn't come back with him, they would say he was implicated in it from the beginning. So he just went on ahead with him.
I'm going to drop the link if anybody want to pull up, and if anybody want to discuss Nazir's video. I still give Nazir points for making that video. I do. I give him points for making it. He was able to tell us some things, but I will take the opinions of others. So if you want to come on a panel with me, and even if you want to discuss today's hearing, whatever you want to discuss pertaining to the Shanquella Robinson case, that's fine with me. Just click on the StreamYard link and come on up. I'm going to revisit another part of Nazir's video. Salute, Miss Parker.
Hey, Shank. Salute to the Rock Squad. Salute to my riders. With that, I want to speak on that. And I was so mad I couldn't go today, but I was so busy. Shank waited on me, but I had some stuff I had to do today. So, but prayers up for Miss Salamandra and Mr. Bernard and Quill and the family. But this my thing with that one, Shank. The same way that you could strike up alive, and it ain't like she was Nazir was the Dejanades and all of them, because they was cool with them. They was just cool, but you know, she considered y'all a friend. Khalil and Nazir a friend. You know what I'm saying? It's different from me hanging out with some bitches versus me being cool, like real live cool with them. In the same way he took the time out to make the live is the same way he could have went and told Miss Salamandra everything that he was trying to tell us. So the fact that he didn't even take the initiative to tell her mother, I can't give him credit for anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's almost like the Nazir Harris situation. Everybody want to go online versus go to the proper people to say, hey, this is what happened. So yeah, I can respect it.
That's fair, Miss Parker. Let me let Nikki slide in for a fruit. Salute, Nikki.
Salute Shank. Hey, Miss Parker. Hey, Marty.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Rock Squad. I came up here just to piggyback on the meet and greet. So I wanted to get this out there. Shank, you know, if you open the link and you tell the original Rock Squad come, we all coming.
Exactly.
We We want justice for Shanquella and the third annual Rock Squad meet and greet. Miss Parker, Marty, Sweet. We all been planning behind the scenes. We are hoping this next one in October will be a celebration that we are right now on the road to justice. Shank showing up in court today. Thank you, Shank. We appreciate you so much. We are on the road to justice. This is a win for us. We not stopping, and we hope in October we will continue to celebrate. And we want to invite those of you old and new to the Rock Squad to come out and celebrate with us, not just a win for Shanquella, but to meet fellow Rock Squad members. And Miss Parker, who has been building her channel, and she's built it up tremendously with her riders. Of
Amen.
course, you are all welcome. We still have space for you guys to come and fellowship with us daily, even though we don't have space for you to stay. But we do have space if you want to stay near and dear with us in the North Carolina area. So if you want to get your own accommodations, we will provide you with the address once we get closer to that time where you can find accommodations. But if you are in the area, during those days, October the 23rd to the 27th, we want to let you know, please come and join us, celebrate with us. Just come out and meet your fellow Rock Squad members. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting tongue-tied. Rock Squad members, and just have a great time with us. It will be in the atmosphere of like a family reunion. We will be in the house. We will be having fun. We will be playing games. We will be cooking. We will have music. It's just a good time to be had by all. There is a $30 contribution if you are just dropping in that goes towards the drinks and the food and all the activities. We are asking that if you are coming, you please get in touch with Marty. I will drop her link in the chat shortly. And that you pay as soon as possible because we are looking to start purchasing supplies. We've already put out down payment down on the house. So this is something that we are doing. We are moving forward on. Everybody, again, if you are in the area, you're welcome. If you're not in the area and you want to stay and get your own hotel accommodations, you're welcome to as well. $30 contribution towards the food and drinks. Again, we want this to be a celebration. Justice for Shanquella. We not stopping. Rock Squad, old and new members, riders, you're welcome. Just reach out to Marty. Let us know. I'll be dropping her link shortly. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Nikki. Come on there,
Thank
Marty.
you, Nikki.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Um,
Marty.
hey, darling. So I just came up here um, to give you your flowers, Shank. I was surprised when I didn't see Miss Parker there, but she just said that she was busy. But you and Miss Parker, whenever there's something, you guys are always there. That shows the support as you as human beings. You're so passionate about this case. We all are. But you and Miss Parker have boots on the ground, you know, with that. And when I saw, I was scrolling YouTube and then I saw it and I instantly called Nikki. Normally I'll text her because, she'll never have a phone on ring, but I text her and I said, I couldn't even get it out. I said, I saw something with Shank, talking to the attorneys, Sue Ann, and to her mom. I said, something happened today. And so then she pulled over and she looked at it and stuff. And so we were talking about it, but I had got goosebumps because finally somebody um, is going to at least listen to Shanquella's mom, listen and give some type of support or justice for Shanquella. Like she said, this is this isn't going to be a sprint. It's going to be a marathon. And, October 29th, it's going to be 3 years. But I thank God for you and Miss Parker. And like Nick said, the old Rock Squad and the new Rock Squad for standing for justice, for Shanquella. And like we said initially when it happened, we gonna be here until she gets justice. And I think that we are going to have something to celebrate with our third annual meet and greet coming in October. And I ditto everything that Nikki said. We are going to have an absolute ball. Gonna have absolute ball. So, if you're in the area, just come. And because when we met the first year we did it, we were just in this case. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. We've been talking for well over a year. And then it was decided that we have this meet and greet. And I'm telling you, there has been some bonds and relationships, and I'm not going to cry, but bonds that came out of this. I mean, seriously, bonds. And I don't think that we're going to get rid of one another, because we're invested. And I said that almost 3 years ago, and I'll say it today. Shanquella's death will not be in vain because of some of the family that has come out of the Rock Squad. And I appreciate my Rock Squad family. I do. I really do. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. And I only came up here too because it's fitting that those people that started with us should be up here on this panel. I see Squeak has joined. I see, is Mel up here? Yep. And I see Mel. So it's, I believe that we have something to celebrate today. And I think we're going to have something even greater to celebrate in October.
Appreciate you, Mark. You about to make me cry because
I know it.
I can see you crying, Marty. Appreciate you.
I'm serious. You know how I am. I am so passionate. I mean, all of us are. And I'm not taking it away from anybody because everybody feels different on different levels, about this case. But the one thing that we all are on one accord with is that she's going to get justice. She needs justice, whether it's going to be over here in the States or whether it's going to be over in Mexico. And somebody in the chat, I forgot who it was now, said it's a shame that no criminal charges have been brought. But here I go. So look, I believe all things are possible. Philippians 4:13 says all things are possible. Yes. So I do believe that if we get one iota of information that could possibly open up for charges, because they did say if we get any additional information, maybe criminal charges can be, reviewed or looked at or revisited. So heck, if they're revisiting this for the DOJ and the FBI, hell, why can't they revisit the murder charges or the assault charges that led to her death? I'm still praying for that because they can't get away because that baby went over there walking. She didn't unalive herself. Somebody did something to her, and we all know who did it. We saw who did it. And the people in there was talking in the chat. We're talking about, Malik sitting up there. Yeah, if you were a man, you would not have allowed that to happen. Period. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Appreciate that. Let me go ahead, Ms.
I'm breaking it down real quick. I want to say this to these three ladies up here on the panel. Four, my bad. Man, without y'all with this case 3 years ago, man, I don't know where Shank would be because he did his research, but it was many a nights of crying up for hours. I mean, Shank pulled the 12 hours, 13 hours, and Nikki Lynn repeating the same thing with the autopsy. You know what I'm saying? Mel, Team Nazir. You know what I'm saying? Me and Squeak sat up here for like 13 hours one night. You know what I'm saying? With a panel full of ladies. So it just was a case in where we really wanted this. What we got today We fought for this thing and we're still fighting for it. We're not going to give up, like Marty said. For those that's going to miss out on this third annual meet and greet, sorry.
I
But
know
I'm
that's right, Miss
turning
Parker.
up. I'm celebrating. You know what I'm saying? Suann said it's a celebration. And Nikki Lynn was like, Miss Parker, I think we should call this a celebration instead of a balloon release. She said that couple of months ago. She said, because I think we're going to get justice this year. And I think she's right. I feel that she's right. And when you went to court today and from seeing what Suann said and how, you know, Suann's a powerhouse regardless, but it's all about justice, man. Salute to the Rock Squad up on this panel. Salute to the Rock Squad in the chat. Salute to my riders. I'm out of here, Shank. Y'all all have a good night. And Nikki, well, Marty, I'll hit you up on the back end.
Okay, baby.
But salute to y'all.
All
Appreciate
right.
you,
And
Miss
Miss
Parker.
Parker, you gave me goosebumps because
Appreciate you, Miss Parker.
I
Thank you.
felt that you was getting ready to cry when you started talking about okay, she left, but when she started talking about Shanquella, I instantly got goosebumps. Because you can feel the passion. You can hear the passion.
Let me read Nola's super chat real quick, Marty. Then I gotta let Squeak come in and then Mel. Nola says a change is coming for Shanquella's. Cabo 6 should be counting their blessing and realize God did not allow them to be carried by 6. Appreciate you. Come on in. It's a play, Squeak.
What's up, panel, everybody? Shank,
Hey,
Nikki,
Squeak.
Marty, Mel. Yeah, if you're not coming to the meet and greet, you're gonna miss it because it's gonna be lit. You thought the last one was good? Well, this is even better. We're gonna do some crazy games. Y'all gonna enjoy. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna dance. And we're gonna act like we know. And we're gonna get it in. I promise you. Oh, and on Shanquella's case, woohoo! We got something finally got something going. Fired up. Okay.
Yeah.
We got something going on. And as far as Nazir, you already know how I feel about him. He's part of the play. He was there. I don't believe one word he say. And you know my take on Winter.
Yeah.
How she did Shanquella. I haven't changed. That's it. Love y'all. Hope to see y'all at the meet and greet. I'm telling you, it's going down. If anybody gonna be lit, it's gonna be me.
We know. We know.
That's true.
Let me Mel slide in and get some of this good stuff for a minute. Come on in, Mel.
Hey, salute everybody on the panel.
Hey, Mel.
Hey, I'm sleepy. Dang it, I'm so sleepy. I forgot what I was gonna say.
And why did your ass hit this panel when your ass is sleepy? Come on, Mel.
You know, when I hear people talking about Nazir, I got to come up. Yeah, because going back to the old clips from the first time we had it. Everybody know I'm Team Nazir, and it's not just because I just really believe what he said, and just to clarify that he out of the words of Quilla, Shanquella's sister, Nazir did go talk to the family, and I have to make sure that you know that's out there, and no one believed saying that he did not go because her sister said he came. But they had heard so many lies, they didn't know whether to believe him because they had heard so many lies from the other 3. So, you know, he did what he was supposed to do. And, you know, that's all we could ask, you know, his reasons for leaving. You know, I mean, I would have left too, because, you know, what could I do? I can't make no decisions on her behalf. So anyway, that's that. And from the beginning, I always told y'all, Suann Robinson, that's a bad girl.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody that's dedicated. And when you find an attorney that's dedicated, you know, I can just put her in the mind of
Brian Steele, how he was willing to go to jail for Thug, you know, because he believed. And she believes, and she's smart, and she knows. And now and this is, you know, sometimes civil lead to criminal, you know. And
Right.
it's been 3 years for us. And I know a lot of stuff we talked about I've forgotten. So just think they've probably forgotten a lot of stuff too. Even if they made some kind of pact, or, you know, tried to make sure their stories were the same. You know, you forget everything you say after 3 years, because, you know, things was going on. And, you know, nobody was talking about it, but all the time. So Wayne was still, she was still working, you know, and, you know, I think she deserves her flowers. And, you know, we just have to keep kind of like praying and uplifting her as well as she continues this fight. But she's a fighter, and she's smart. And that's a true person, that she's not taking no, because she knows what she knows, so she's not gonna take no. And luckily, she has a judge that you know, he's with her. He want to know too. You know, he remembered the case, so he wants to know. As in we all want to know what happened to her. And I think that, you know, doing this over here would be easier, because once they get over there, you know, don't, you know, however the criminal part is done, that would then put pressure on the DOJ to extradite somebody right over there. I just have an idea of who that might be. But I'm gonna leave it like that, you know, because of what, you know, I'm just gonna leave it like that. But I
let
just
me
think,
run this, not to cut you off. Let me run this clip back for those that just pulled up, y'all. This is Suanne, Miss Salamandra, and for those that was questioning and those that was saying they need help, they need to get an attorney that, you know, is in North Carolina. This is the actual attorney for Shanquella Robinson, the young lady that's in the middle. But let me run this back for everybody. So we have a win for the Shanquella Robinson case. We have attorneys Suanne Robinson, and I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Gabrielle Higgins.
And the lovely mother of Shanquella Robinson. How do you feel, Miss Salamandra, about today's hearing?
I feel good about it, and knowing that they're going to put it on the table and see where they can go with it, and hopefully that we will get justice for Shanquella Robinson, because the 6 individuals that was there, they know what happened.
Yes, they do. Attorney, how do you feel?
Our legal system obviously has revenues and avenues for us to fight for justice and for us to advocate, and I'm happy that we were able to put our best foot forward in our attempt to get justice for Ms. Robinson.
Thank you. And Suanne, what are your thoughts?
I think you're right. It was a win today for us, even to get the opportunity to be here to have oral arguments in federal district court. Shows that, you know, it gives me a renewed hope, a renewed faith, not just in the case, but in the system that we're working so hard to get transparency from.
I'll say it again. The judge wants to know what happened. The judge wants to know what happened. Anybody else want to slide in?
I just want to say Miss Salamandra does not look like what she's been through. She looks
Mel, I
amazing.
was just getting ready to say that. Look at the difference. If you go through all these videos that we've had before, she looks refreshed. She looks hopeful. I'm glad somebody else noticed that. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Mel.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just said she looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Bernard looks good too. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Considering what he's going through as well, he looks good.
Right.
And I will run Mr. Bernard's video back as well. I will run Mr. Bernard's video back as well. But for both of them, for both parents to be still holding up, you know. Anybody else?
Well,
Nick,
I just
go ahead,
wanted to
Mark.
say one more thing, Shank, before I drop down, and it is regarding the meet and greet. I've noticed, like Nisi, and I think what we've been doing lately is taking it for granted that everyone knows that it's going to be in North Carolina, because Nisi just said, "Where's it going to be?" So I apologize for that. Yes, Miss Nisi, it's going to be in North Carolina, and I thank Miss Parker and Squeak for putting it in the chat that it's going to be. And then Michelle says she's going to be in North Carolina in October. So I think we just need to keep saying this, because now you have other people that are showing some interest. And I think the more, the merrier. The more, the merrier.
Nikki, Squeak, Mel.
I just want to also reiterate that every year you guys do a balloon release at the gravesite. We will be doing that again this year. That's Sunday. We will be going to the gravesite to do a balloon release. Again, celebration for Shanquella. Again, I just want to say that I think Sue Ann and the attorneys are doing a wonderful job as well. Thank you, Shank, again for showing up, getting us the answers that we continue to strive for. I did want to piggyback off a few things you said earlier in your demonstration. This is the civil trial, not the criminal trial. It does make the most sense to have the civil trial here as opposed to Mexico. You're talking about the language barrier, Shank.
There you go.
Language barrier.
Thank you.
The language barrier. Again, the witnesses that the Capo 6 is speaking of, that's just their way of looking for an out to try and have the case there. But you were right to speak of the fact that Dejanay funky ass, if I could use your words, would not, because I refuse to call her Imani anything, because we know what she really is, would not want to have the case sent over to Mexico. And I would be surprised if she or her attorney asks for that, because soon as she sets foot on Mexico soil, oh, she has a warrant over there for her arrest.
Femicide.
So they absolutely could detain her.
Mhm.
Maybe not the others, but they could detain her. So that would not work in her favor. And just last, before I drop down, thank you, Mel, Marty, Sweet, Shank, everybody, Miss Parker, that the witnesses, as you stated, Shank, came after, I'm going to call it the manslaughter, if nothing else, the red rum, came after that. And the Cabo 6, at least 5 of them anyway, was witness, participated, corroborated, conspired, and
Encouraged.
covered up. Go ahead, Marty, what you said?
And encouraged.
Encouraged, did all of that to Shanquella. So therefore, why should they get anything by way of, let's try this over there? It would be to their benefit, guys. That's what they're looking for. I know some of you are thinking send them back over there, but let's just point out that the other 5 does not have warrants in Mexico. And again, as Shank said, this is not a criminal trial. So it's not like they would get there and they would be detained. This is
And,
only a civil matter.
and guess what? They can't be held in contempt either. So somebody's been doing their homework. I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you, Nikki.
I was done. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Nick.
Any last words, Squeak? Any last?
Yep.
Any
last
any last?
words? Justice for Shanquella. Justice for Shanquella. That's all I got to say. Justice is coming. And I appreciate you, Shank.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Marty. Squeak.
All right.
Any last words?
Yeah, I double down on that. Justice for Shanquella. It's coming. It's coming. We waited long enough, and it's coming. But yeah, on the meet and greet, make sure it's BYOB, BYOS. Don't be bumming off nobody else's stuff. All you got to do is for the whole weekend for food and, juice and soda or whatever. It's only $30. So we need to get that money so we can start pricing food. Like, we on it. We just need y'all's help. Okay? See y'all there. Hope to see y'all there because it's going to be lit. Fire. All right. Thanks, Shank. Good night, y'all.
You're welcome. Appreciate you, Squeak. I'm going to run Mr. Bernard's footage. Let me see what she said. What happens if the fine is for the Robinsons? What will the Cabo Six have to do? I'm not sure, Jacqueline. But give me a minute to set up Mr. Bernard's, and we'll get out of here. Give me a minute to set up Mr. Bernard's.
I'd like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half and half.
And welcome to the channel. Full time and being a mother and a higher power, and he.
That ain't what I wanted.
To somebody. I'm only telling this because I care about you. But that Nikki over there, I think you need to watch her. Don't say anything, keep it up under your hat. But I just want you to watch how she moves.
He was there. It was all a play. He was the alibi for everybody.
Sweet, what make you think he was already there? I know it's evident that he got there at 2:19 p.m. He even said that the real FBI could verify his flight. Okay, has the real FBI verified his flight?
We wasn't there.
The real FBI is not giving out.
He was there on Friday. It's all about the play.
What's the play?
The play is
Exit and
everybody has an active part in it.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And they all have something on each other.
Okay.
Correct?
I don't know that. No, I don't know that.
That's why they quiet.
Well,
all that. Tell, that's it. It's one.
Oh, I agree. Those 5 people are together by one line. So I always say, why would you tell the last man coming in?
He wasn't the last man.
So who is he protecting?
Damn, I think that's Slim. Like, is that him?
Kind of looks like him. Hey, you Slim?
Who you?
Yeah, that is you. Oh, man. Why you always over there beating up on that girl like that?
Beating up on what girl?
Your supposed friend of 9 years.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your girl.
Judge will decide if a lawsuit over this Charlotte woman's death should be dismissed. Mexico is where Shanquella Robinson died. Traveling there with a group in 2022. Our Joe Bruno was in court today as this went before a judge for the first time.
No one was ever criminally charged in this case. Friends told family members that Shanquella Robinson died of alcohol poisoning, but an autopsy claims she died of neck and spinal cord injuries. The judge today seemed very familiar with this case, and he's now wrestling with the decision on whether to allow this lawsuit to move forward here or if it should be heard in Mexico.
A United States citizen should not be allowed to go overseas, harm another, or be involved in harm with another United States citizen and come back to the United States and essentially say that they're on base.
That's the crux of attorney Sue Ann Robinson's arguments as to why her lawsuit on behalf of Shanquella Robinson's family should continue. In federal court Wednesday, the FBI and attorneys for 4 of the people who went on the trip with Shanquella argued the case should be dismissed. They argued their clients shouldn't be named in the lawsuit since it was another travel mate seen in this video attacking Robinson. But their main claim is the case should be heard in Mexico instead, since that is where Robinson died and where many of the people live who would be called to testify. Robinson says that wouldn't be appropriate because the main players are U.S. citizens.
It would be burdensome for costs, burdensome for travel, burdensome just because the Mexican civil litigation system is completely different.
Judge Max Cogburn appeared sympathetic to the Robinson family's situation. He pointed out to attorneys that the travel mates all left Mexico before the investigation was finished. As family members await the judge's decision, Shanquella's father, Bernard, vowed to keep pressing for justice.
But I'm going to continue to stand on my strength. I'm going to continue to stand on my faith that I know there is a God above who will sit down and watch everything everybody doing.
The woman seen in that video attacking Shanquella is named in the lawsuit, but she was not represented in court today. Records show that she has changed her name and moved to Connecticut. A federal judge will make a decision in the coming weeks.
I'll take a few more questions and then we will get out of here. As soon as I hear anything as far as the judge's ruling, as far as having the case, the civil case trial here, as soon as I get that information, I definitely will share it with you all. Renee says they should all be sent back where it happened. They are all guilty. Marty says, so listening to what the attorney said for 4 of Cabo 6, he said, and to me, it was almost an admission from the travel mates that say it DJ did it. I'm just saying. Lola says, I'm late. Salute, Alma. If you all want to hang around, you can hang around. I will leave the chat running. Salute, everybody. Let me see. Well, why did she change her name if she's innocent? Exactly. Exactly, Jacqueline. But even with her changing her name, it still hasn't and is still not going to stop the hands of justice. It is what it is. Salute everybody. Y'all can hang around in the chat. I will leave the chat running.
But I would just like to say that Shanquella was a very loving person. I guess I could say I was kind of like her babysitter. Because school opened, her mother had to be at work so early in the morning. She would always drop off at my house, and she'd stay there at the time to go to school. And she was just go-getter. That's what Shanquella was. And, you know, all the kids just loved her to death. But what I would like to say today is to the 6 that was with her. My plea, if you're watching this or if you'll be watching this, my plea is to you. And I'm saying to you, I'm standing first, y'all. I'm standing for God. That's who I believe in. I'm standing for him on behalf of the Robinson family. And I would like to say to those 6, no matter where you go, you're not going to be able to run from this situation. And what God would have me to say to you all today, he is a God of a second chance. And he is a God of a second chance. And it's time for each one of you to come forth for the part that you played in. Because none of you could be friends, because if you were friends, you would not have done this. So it's time for you to step forward and take your part in this situation. See, because man is not a second chance man. And God will forgive. And you got to come out No matter what lawyer you get, you will never be able to pay him to get you off. So it's time now. You know, it's just like a ball game. It's 3 strikes. So y'all have had 2 strikes. And that 3rd strike, it means you're out. And when God takes control, can't nobody help you. No matter who it is, your mother, your father, or anyone can help you. And you know, it's just sad that people, I don't understand how they haven't done anything. I'm like Miss Robinson. When they sent the film to me, and by the way, I had the privilege, I'm a pastor, and I had a privilege to pastor Shanquella for over a year and a half. And I enjoyed her being under my leadership. She was always there, always loving, always cutting up. She doing what Shanquella do. But to the 6, can't no lawyer help you. I promise you, no matter what you're paying. Because the Bible said that vengeance is mine. And God promised, and I believe in him. He said, vengeance is mine, and he said, I will make them pay. So to the Robinson family, keep your head up. Remember Shanquella as she was, and I know that nothing we can do is going to bring Shanquella back. And I believe if God would just give us the opportunity to just speak to Shanquella, Shanquella will tell y'all, I'm all right now. I don't want to come back to this so mean world. She wouldn't want to come back.
Hour. My taxi driver, it took us an hour to get to the villa because there was traffic. I don't know why. So I got to the villa around 3:26. I instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quilla. Quilla didn't leave my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quilla was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it was just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this shit is and what it looked like. Well, you're gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good. So I instantly go to her, put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart. I hope that I was there the whole time in the game room, and then they was talking about cooking. So we made it to the living room. I cut on some soft music, sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting until the nurse came, because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming, and then a female showed up. So by that time, I skipped another thing. Quilla wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quilla was not dead when I got there. Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Quilla, I see she chilling, I put her on her side. I go out and make that video where I'm talking about I'm here, Quilla get up. So I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do. ATVs, a boat, dinner. I missed the chefs, I missed everything. Anyway, fuck that. I really don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Y'all can really go on about y'all day, y'all life. We ain't gotta talk, be cool. You feel how you feel because that's the information you was given. I respect it, but I can't respect you. That's because if you knew me, you know that's not me. That's not my heart. My heart's so pure. I'm not confrontational. I would try to end everything before it gets to something like that. Come on, bro. You don't do that 2,000 miles away from your house, bro. You don't do that. You don't do that. I have the most respect for Miss Robinson, Quilla, everybody. Like, y'all welcome me with open arms. Listen, heard me out. All of that. I didn't feel like anything was a problem. I respect that, and I want you to get justice for your daughter. I want everybody to get justice. I want everybody to stop hurting. Don't nobody deserve that, especially not to die 2,000 miles away from your family. It's not fair. It's not fair, and I say it every day. I say it every day. I think about it every day. It's not, I could never forget it. Y'all won't let me forget it because y'all think I'm responsible for it. But I just don't understand why. And y'all don't have everything. Y'all don't have timestamps. I didn't sign that guest list. First of all, the guest list that my name is on. Go try to find my signature. Hold on, where's my ID? Matter of fact, my ID. Is my signature on here? That's my passport. Anyway, I don't know. My signature not on there. Well, somewhere in there. But I didn't sign it. And the only reason why my name was on there because you had to have your name on the list to get past the gate. If your name wasn't on the list, they would not let you up to your villa. So they signed my name, they printed my name, and signed my name, which is not my signature or my print. That's the only reason why I'm on that list. That's the reason why I don't have a phone number there. That's the reason why that's not my fucking shit on there. That's the reason why I'm the last one on there. Like, come on, bro. I gotta make shit make sense, bro. Do your own research. Stop listening to that bozo. Like, come on, bro. I was really tripping, bro. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense for me to keep my page public and I did something. It don't make no sense for me to keep trying to live my life and move past this and I did something. Nothing is eating me alive. I don't know. I didn't know. Nothing is killing me. Nothing is hurting me and breaking my heart, goddamn, that I had to goddamn go hide. Because I didn't do anything. I walked into something stupid. And I really wish a flight got canceled, blew up. I don't give a fuck. Don't send me there. I don't know. I can't question God's plan, but he has a way. He has a way, and I'm telling you, I'm putting it all in his hands. I'm not worried about nothing. You, him, or her has got to say. I'll tell you that. And I'm only clearing my name one time. If you feel it's clear or it's not, that's on you. Stop commenting on my family shit, mentioning my mama and all that, bro. Y'all are weird. Because the same way y'all can find my info, I can find y'all. But y'all hide behind fake pages and stuff. Like, come on, bro. Everybody's stuff on the internet, bro. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta be smart. Everybody got families. Everybody got families. This shit way deeper than what y'all think it is, bro. It's really way deeper than what y'all think it is. I'm just gonna leave it at that, bro. Take what you want to take out of this. Like, I don't know. I don't know if y'all thought me getting on Instagram and crying was to help me. I was genuinely heartbroken that I went into a house to see a friend that I knew for 9 years, unresponsive, on vacation, 2,000 miles away, in another country. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for me to come late to put myself in this predicament. It makes no sense. Why would I do? Going out of town to be a possibly accessory or anything, that makes no sense. I'm going home. I'm a smart nigga. I have a degree. I graduated. Nigga, like, but it makes no sense. I gotta put stuff together, bro. I gotta stop believing everything off the internet, bro. I could tell. I told y'all, that's not him. That's not Nazir. That's not him. He wouldn't do that. He would have stopped that. He would have told them, y'all better come on now. Get y'all fucking act together. And that's the reason why I probably didn't know. Because they knew I was on everybody's ass in there. From this, that, and that. Everybody there was feeling it. I don't care, bro. I just don't care. You don't do that on vacation. No, either party. Whatever happened from alcohol, from drinking too much, you enjoy yourself, bro. You be responsible. You be responsible in another country, in another man's place, bro. That is not our stomach grounds. Y'all know Brittany Griner stuck in Russia. You gotta make a trade. Nobody trading for us. Nobody is fucking trading for me in Mexico. Why the fuck would I want to get stuck in Mexico? Idiots. Make it make sense. That was my first time out the country. I spent money on a passport. I spent money on clothes and all that to put myself in a murder. I'm gonna take my birthday extended. I just turned 25. Y'all can tell me happy birthday if y'all want. I celebrate my life with a murder. I just turned another age. I'm happy I'm still here. Come on, bro. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, bro. Leave me alone. Y'all do all whatever y'all wanna do, research over there, but just leave me and my page alone. I wasn't bothering y'all. I really wasn't bothering y'all. I was enjoying myself. Enjoying myself, my life. With my little 500 followers, let me go back to there. Y'all niggas is tripping, bro. I got my grandma stressing, my mama and them stressing. I got security at the house. Nigga, like, stop playing. Y'all niggas.
Is denying he was involved. It's the first time we're hearing from one of the 5 people on the trip with Shanquella Robinson. Her family is suing Nazir Wiggins and the 4 other travel mates, as well as the FBI, over her death in Cabo in 2022. Wiggins says the complaint fails to provide any factual allegations identifying any direct harm he allegedly caused. He also says Robinson's lawsuit relies on, quote, vague or speculative statements. Robinson's friends told family members she died of alcohol poisoning. Death records in Mexico claim she died of head and neck injuries. An independent review by the Mecklenburg County Medical Examiner could not determine how she died. The FBI declined to press charges against anyone. A unanimous